Hi everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz. That's Jack.
Hey everybody.
Letty's sulking in the corner because a cat scratched her foot. Now today, I'm a dog person myself, but I also enjoy Chinese food. So what we're going to get into today is another Gulf Coast thing down here. We're going to bake some fish that we got from down here. We're going to do some boxed jambalaya because we're broke and can't do anything else. And we're also going to do some handmade hush puppies. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so it's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
So a whole bunch of stuff. So a lot of this just goes into one thing. So this is what we're basically getting the fish. Like it's usually like $5 and some change. We got it for a little bit cheaper, but it's the biggest investment. So that's all we need for that. Now we got the boxed jambalaya, and we added some sausage just because. Why not? Everything's better. Now the rest of this all goes into your hush puppies, right? A lot of this is like cornmeal. You're gonna need some flour, baking powder, milk, eggs, that kind of stuff. Now, I did decide we had supposed to do a full onion. We didn't, so I was going to fill it in with the crab meat stuff and throw a little garlic in just because we can. Well, you're going to need to cook it in. Now, start off with your fish. Get you a baking sheet. You cover it with aluminum foil. Done. Easy. It's mostly just for cleanup, so it makes it where it doesn't stick, and you can flip it over if you need to. Get you some of this Pam.
Spray it down.
Light spray. Or you can get a stick of butter, rub it down, and it does the same thing. Now you rip this open like a maniac with a knife, and then just lay these out. Now these are pre-seasoned, right? We had like lemon pepper, I think, right?
Yeah, they came with lemon pepper seasoning.
Now again,
already.
we got these well before the accidents over in the ship channel. It's supposed to be Gulf fish somehow, but it's still good. Now it's pre-seasoned, but as much as I love lemon pepper, we always like to add a little bit something extra. So we added chili powder, just the two of them. Not a lot, just a little bit, because you don't want to overpower it, but you still want to get that smell and taste of fish out of there. And then we decided with the lime pepper, just go straight citrus all over these other two, which is good. And then we took a little bit of lime juice,
or a lot
of lime juice.
Wing it here,
covered here, and then just got excited, went and got lime juice all over the rest of it. This horrible reference for those people in the audience that don't like us. And then we just fold this over. You don't have to seal it. You just fold it. Now we kind of hold in that steam as it's cooking, where it cooks up that lime stuff. Now, jambalaya, you got to just take it. It's supposed to be a pound of meat. You can use anything, and we can chop it up. You can get it frozen or not. And apparently, you got to be smarter than the packaging.
Don't cut yourself now, ladies.
Now, once that's bandaged, it'll come back, and then you can attack it with this knife again.
Hey, what's that? What's that tab there say? Something about easy open?
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
Sometimes.
Fucking, yeah, that's not, fucking, that's easy open. There, you like that. Now it's open. Give me my meat. That stupid thing. I just put a knife and put the knife in. Aha!
So when someone has a hard time with sausage.
Well, it's not my natural habitat, I guess. Just, there you go. And now that looks like, the letter C. That's what it looks like. We just took it. Now you can cut these parts up smaller if you want, and do just halves of them. It depends on if anybody that chokes on this
quarters, whatever.
On this shape of thing. But we just left it. You just slicing it up, and you're good to go. So you get your pot, whatever, and it's going to be 2 cups of water, right? And you put the whole thing of the jambalaya. We get that box package. It just goes by the directions. Super easy. Just jump all that stuff in there. And then you put your sausage in with it. And then it's...
Mix it up.
2 cups of water. Done. I didn't have to. It didn't say anything about boiling. And I just set it over to boil. Once it boils, you cover it and let it sit. Right? So you got it boiling. It's nice and cooking. You can see that. And then just take it, lower it down to a simmer, and let it sit for 25 minutes.
You have to let it sit for 25 minutes.
You have to, or you're going to get crunchy stuff. Now, this is your 1 egg. We beat up a little bit. You got a 3/4 cup of milk. Just pour that right in the top. Now, we're supposed to have the 1 onion, but we chopped up some of the crab. And it's supposed to be as small as possible. So we just took that and just dumped it all in there. Ended up using the rest of that. I was worried about it being too thick. We used 1 cup of the cornmeal, but we ended up having to use another half cup on top of that because it wasn't good. Half cup of flour and a tablespoon and a half of the baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then just mix it all up. Now, like I said, without the other half cup of flour, it's really soupy and it wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it wasn't sticky.
So we got our oil nice and hot. That, yeah, 365 is what we're told in the recipe. We didn't believe that. So we dump these in here. Now these look really easy, and they're not like the perfect ball ones or whatever.
Yeah, the recipe didn't call for making a ball. It
Yeah,
just said
it
put
was,
them in
well,
there.
it was way too wet for that. It was just my finger were all stuck in it. So it looked different. But yeah,
By the time
it
it's
tasted
done,
awesome.
yeah, by the time it's done, it's more normal hush puppy.
No, you don't have to put the crab stuff in it. We did. You can add jalapenos, peppers, that kind of stuff, any kind of meat, or just leave them out. You don't have to add anything or put anything extra in there. We did it just because we had that extra sitting around and wanted to use something in it. Now you can see when it starts flipping over, you get that nice brown color to it. And it keeps it from getting all gooey on one side. And then you get this super dark color. Now I'm seeing them where they're darker than this, and I've had them where they're lighter than this. But about this side, you're good. You can go ahead and drain them as much as you can. Put them on your plate, cover with a paper towel, and you're set. Good to go. Man, was good. And then we had this in at 350 for 25 minutes, and it wasn't long enough. We checked it, and they were still kind of gooey, so we put it back in for another 15 minutes or so, or you can put it in there for longer at a lower temp. And there you have it, man. We just did this entire meal for less than $10, but just barely less than $10. Fed me at least twice. It could have put 2 or 3 more people on one meal, especially the jambalaya. It was.
There's still a lot of jambalaya left.
Yeah. All right, and there you had it. That's our seafood, our baked fish, our hush puppies, and that boxed jambalaya. It all goes great. Jambalaya you can probably do as a meal on its own just because there's so much stuff in there. And you can look and see our entire ingredient list and a price breakdown down in the description. Now just remember, if you're going to use something like, yeah, the flour, the bag itself costs $1, but in this recipe we only use like 10 cents of it. That's how our price breakdown works down there. Anything we're going to use multiple times, we divide it up and use the cost that way. So you can see us next time and here on YouTube, Tuesdays and Fridays. You can find us on Instagram at Living Between, or on Facebook at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen there. And you can also find us on Patreon if you want to help us out over there. We'd really very much appreciate it. Shout out to all our patrons that are out there right now. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.